is the one and only Bridgeman. And Rudy Bear, who's finished up early to join us. How we doing, lads?
Aye, everything good, Ox. Aye, Bridge, Pop.
Can I just say a big good evening to the boys?
6 courses the night he did, Bridge.
6 courses, you did.
Hard work,
well done, Rudy.
I got through it.
Can I just say a big good evening to the boys in the panel, and to a big good evening again to the boys in the lobby, and to all the Rangers fans all over the world listening to your wee radio station. Good evening, and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Well, not a lot happened at the club today, so not a lot to talk about. This roller coaster that we call Rangers, really, it's a curse we've got to carry, and then you get the yin and yang, then you get the defeats, you get the victories, we have the highs and the lows, and I think we've seen that today with the news of Jamie Murphy unfortunately gone about for a considerable chunk, and especially as Jamie moves into the veteran stage of his career, and then somebody who's a similar age rejoins us, so it's a yin and yang of football, mate. But what's your views on what's happened today, mate?
It's often been said about Rangers, isn't it? We do things the hard way, you know, as you say, Jamie. But I feel really, really sorry for Jamie Murphy, you know. There's a new era starting at the club, you know. Steven Gerrard's come in, you know, he's hit the ground running. Many of the new players that he's brought in have hit the ground running. Players that were there from last season, they've upped their game. Guys like Tav and Candeias and boys like that. And Andy Halliday to a certain extent, certainly over the last 2 games, you know, they've upped the ante as far as, you know, playing under Steven Gerrard goes. So it's a real shame for Jamie, you know, he's going to be out, I think I read today, for most of the season by the looks of things, so it was a pretty bad injury, but it looked bad when you saw Ox at the weekend, you know. So it's a pretty bad injury, you know, so I feel really sorry for him. As you say, he's sort of, you know, maybe possibly getting quite near the end of his career. Certainly not the kind of injury that he would have wanted, considering the amount of games we've got coming up and the kind of games we've got coming up, you know. Still doing well in Europe, you know, doing well in the league so far. I know it's only 3 games, but we're doing well. 2 games, sorry, and good performance at the weekend there in the League Cup. Then you've got Big Laugh coming in, haven't you? He seems absolutely delighted. I don't know if you're going to play his interview or whatever, I don't know, but he seems absolutely delighted to be back. Said about how he regretted it as soon as he walked through the doors when he left. Knows he's got a lot to make up to the fans. And
I'm sure we'll hear from him, mate. We'll hear from him. He might even phone in.
Yeah, well, that would be good, wouldn't it?
He might even phone in. I know he listens, mate. I know he listens.
No,
but it's a roller coaster of emotions, and I've got to say I agree with your sentiments on Jamie Murphy. Really sad, and I don't wish that to anybody in the football. And I know Big Broadfoot was near him, but for me, it's one of the things that happens in the game, and I think the surface plays a part in it. But you'll never be able to say if it caused it, but it plays a part for me.
Well, I think 2 things, just your last couple of statements there, 2 things out of that. The 4G, or whatever they call these pitches, there, I think the pressure's starting to build from a whole load of other places, including the players, particularly the players' unions. And they're going to start to look, for instance, down in England. And most assuredly look down there. What are the regulations? What's the FA saying? What's the Premier League saying? So on and so forth. What are they saying about these pitches? What pitches are they allowing? And so on and so forth. That's all going to be looked at for sure. I'm quite sure of it. And so will the big Broadfoot. Somewhere along the line, you mentioned his name, he's next to him. And 3 of our players got injured on Sunday there, and Broadfoot was involved in all, shall we say, all 2 altercations, shall we say, and one of them he took 2 men out. So I'm quite happy that somewhere along the line he's either getting his comeuppance, or he's going to leave football under a cloud. Let's put it that way.
But all my thoughts are with Jamie Murphy, Rudy.
100%.
All my thoughts are with him, and I hope he has speedy recovery and it goes well for him, because you know that 6 months can become 9, 12 or whatever if it doesn't go right, but it can also go with 5 months if things do go right, so we wish him all the best, mate.
Aye, 100% behind you there. I agree with what you said there, Ox. I mean, you've only got to look at Graham Dorrans. Look how long Graham Dorrans has been at now, you know. And the same thing could, depending on how it goes. I mean, he'll get the medical treatment will be absolutely top notch, and the coaching staff will be right there with him, every step of the way, helping him through it. Hopefully we see him back before the end of the season, hopefully, and he's still got another good season or two in him. Because he is a good player. I don't think he's exactly hit the ground running. I said that last week under Steven Gerrard, but there was still much more to come for Jamie Murphy, in my opinion. And I'm quite sure as the season got on, he would have he would have reached certain heights under Steven Gerrard. But hopefully, like you say, hopefully it's like a 4 or a 5 month thing, and he progresses medically much quicker, in the healing stages, once he gets the operation or whatever, what might need to be done. Hopefully he heals quickly and, we can get him back before the end of the season. Right?
Let's do it for Jamie Bridgman. Come on, Bridge. Come on, Bridge. Rudy?
Yeah, your heart goes out to him. I had to dash back to the chair there, sorry. Yeah, your heart goes out to him. It's a horrible thing to happen, and it's a long, long time out. I mean, that's a lifetime.
But let's do it for Jamie. Let's do it for Jamie. Let's win the games. Let's do 55 for Jamie Murphy, because he's one of us, mate.
Absolutely. I mean, the Rangers are just somewhere along the line. Rangers have got to be able to pick Jamie Murphy up, mother him to as much as possible, and just be able to bring him back and bring him back to good fitness, good health, good fitness, and back onto the pitch again. That's what I would like to see. Don't know how long it's going to take, but it could be a year.
Yep. Anyway, we move on, and anybody who knows Jamie and Rangers Radio, can you listens, get all our thoughts away and all the best to Jamie in your recovery, mate. We'll not forget you, and we'll monitor your progress. So, in the blue corner, we have Mr. Bridge. And in the red, white and blue corner, we have Rudy Bear. Who wants to throw the first punch?
On you go, Bridge. An elder statesman, on you go.
and what do you mean, throw the first punch? What do you mean by that?
Lafferty, Mr. Lafferty.
Lafferty, I said it last night. I felt last night. I was one of the very few, probably in the whole of the Rangers support, that didn't want him back. So I didn't want him back. I'm quite open about that. And I don't know how much, as I said earlier, I don't know how much Rangers have given Hearts for probably the best part of £500,000, going by what we're hearing. So that's another £500,000 we've got to, shall we say, one of our enemies in the Scottish football, and that's the truth. However, deed's done. He plays for the Rangers. He's now getting supported by me. Simple as that.
Oh, you've knocked him out.
I would say, look. I mean, we can look back to when I left, and I know Bridge's opinion on giving other clubs, other Scottish clubs money. And do you know what? I totally agree. Understand Bridge's sentiment there as far as that's concerned, right? The thing for me with Lafferty is, I truly believe he could get us 20 goals a season. So he could. I really do believe that. I think he scores goals in big games. I think he loves beating them. He loves scoring against them. I think he scored 5 against them last season. Have we got a player that scored 5 against them last season? No, we certainly haven't.
Our whole team never done that, mate.
Exactly right, Ox. You're right, mate. So that's where I'm coming from, right? We could go back to what happened, right, when he left and other players left. We could go back to that, right? And at the time, it was just as painful for me as it was for everybody else. Some of the players, need to take a look at themselves in the mirror, right? But the boys want to come back. He's a Rangers supporter. He's played well at Hearts last season. I think he scored 18 goals. I believe he'll score 20 for us, Ox, simply because I think he'll get more chances with us. The way we play, he'll get more chances to score with us. So for me, I think he's a good backup to Morelos. I don't think anybody's taking Alfredo's position at the moment. He's playing too well. He's banging the goals in. He's playing fantastically well with Alfredo the new. He's the main striker, and that's the way it's going to be for the season as far as I'm concerned if Alfredo keeps that up. I just think Lafferty is, if you say your last 15, 20 minutes of a game, you're looking for a goal, I think he's a good guy to bring off the bench.
Big Ulster will be joining us later on, and we're going to have a poll on Facebook, mate, quite quickly, maybe for an hour or something. And the question we're going to ask is your front three: Candeias, Morelos, and Lafferty. Candeias, Morelos, and Mundas. And we'll find out what people think's the strongest team. But look, for me, I get Bridges' sentiment. I don't completely agree with it, because I think that sometimes you go to watch, you don't cut off your nose to spite your face. But I get where he's coming from and understand it. For me, if Steven Gerrard wants someone, he thinks he'll improve our team, that'll do for me. Anyway, Bridge, if people want to join us, what's the number?
The number is 0141 356 1972.
Where else can you join us, Rudy Bear?
Can join us at Skype at rangersradio.online. If you've been in before, Fox will bring you straight into the show. If not, he'll sort you out in a nice way. And
you can talk about all things Rangers, and there's certainly a lot happening. And all right away, as of cue, we've been joined by our first caller this evening. It is the one and only George Logan. How are we doing, George?
Hi, George.
Hi, George.
How you doing, boys? All right?
All right, George.
All right, mate. All right, George. What's on your mind, mate?
I think just agree with what you're saying about Jamie Murphy. Absolutely shocking. But I couldn't put it any better myself. What you said about the lad. Hopefully he's got a good network round about him, because there must be an awful long time when you're seeing all your players going away to training and all that, and you're not doing things like that. So for a football player, you can't. It's like when you retire and things like that. You didn't come to do yourself. So he's got to maybe have 3, 4, maybe 5, 6 months out of the game. So hopefully he gets through all right in his wee veins and that. He's got enough to keep him busy. But looking forward to the next part of my hangman, Big Kyle Lafferty. What a signing for Rangers, by the way. What a signing for Rangers. I was saying it when we started the season about, even started at the end of last season, about Big McGregor coming in, a lot of folks saying he didn't go back the way, And Bridgeman, I can't hang with what Bridgeman says. I agree with what Bridgeman says about why he didn't give other teams money that we've bought up, the fans have put in, the board have put in. We didn't want to give other people money. But when you're taking such a player, such a big game player, away from people, and people say didn't go back the way, I will go back the way all day. In fact, that's probably the two biggest signings I think we've made, because Alan McGregor and Kyle Lafferty, he will score big goals and big games for us. And we've not had people that scored big goals and big games for us. But we've had people that can score 15 and 20 goals. Morelos has done well, and Windass done well last season. But that's, in my honest opinion, I think Kyle Lafferty, we signed him for 4.4 million for Burnley. It was 8 years ago, 10 years ago maybe, about 8 years ago I think it was, for 4.4 million or something along the lines like that. And we've just signed him for £600,000, and I think we've got a better player now, and a better player will fit in a better type of team that we need. And I think he'll score a load of goals for us. I think it's been a great signing for us. Absolutely fantastic day for Rangers today, getting that boy over the line.
Aye, obviously a great day for the club in some respects, George, but obviously the yin and yang of that is the poor Jamie Murphy thing, yeah?
Bro, and I run about why Oxford all knew it was going to come out with Jamie Murphy.
We knew when Jamie went down, mate. You knew, didn't you? You just know, didn't you?
And if Steven Gerrard's statement straight after it, he would have maybe said, well, we're looking at a bit of thing, we're trying to be put. You just knew straight away when the way the guy went down. And I think Bridgeman said everybody was hoping it was his ankle, but when you found out it was his knee, you knew it was going to be a... The
last time I seen a reaction like that, George, I was out with Fox. He went to the bar just as he finished the happy hour, and he went mad, and I knew there was something wrong.
The last time I seen a bad reaction like that actually on a football park was when on somebody's face was when the day Alan Hutton broke his leg against Kilmarnock. That was the day when I seen that boy's face the other day there, and I seen Alan Hutton's face. I thought to myself, you just know yourself, Ox, when something majorly wrong, and he knew something was majorly wrong. But hope the boy has a good recovery and a quick recovery, and he's got to be wandering about him and things like that. So hopefully he gets through it all right.
We've also been joined by Cushy. How are we doing, Cushy?
Evening, guys. How are we?
All right, mate, can you turn your volume down just a bit, Cushy, mate? On we go, mate.
How's that? Is that better?
That's a bit better, mate. Right, on you go. How are you, mate? What's your thoughts on what's happened today? Or anything else you want to talk about?
disappointing to hear about Jamie Murphy, obviously, but I think the galling thing about that Murphy situation is the fact that so many people are looking at the Kilmarnock game prior to it and thinking, I just hope we get all the players back off this pitch and they're all 100% fit and nobody's injured. And then you get this kind of innocuous running for the ball, he pulls up and then his knees, and then his knee goes and he's out for the rest of the season. And it's the kind of typical, it's kind of typical thing that happens. But it's disappointing when people are pointing it out prior to the match, and the match goes ahead and then exactly that injury happens. And not to, I don't want to disrespect Jamie Murphy in any way, shape or form by making this point, but if that type of thing happens to Morelos or Goldson or Katic, for example, the start of our season has a really, really different slant to it, and things look kind of really disappointing because we've lost one of these players, and that's not trying to disparage Jamie Murphy in any way, shape or form, but we've got cover in that area to a certain extent, where there's certain other areas in the park that we don't have cover, and if that injury happens to one of those players, then as a team, and as a club for the start of the season up to the transfer window, we're really, really struggling. But terrible news for Jamie Murphy, and I just hope I hope his convalescence goes very well, and he tries to keep away from for all his kids in that house as much as possible.
I think it may be the kids that will pull him through, and psychologically, mate.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
kids have got a habit of saying things or doing things that put things in perspective.
Absolutely. I think they'll draw his attention from it. One thing kids, especially young kids that I've seen the photo that Jamie's got will do, they will distract him in any way, shape or form that they can, So good luck to him, and I hope he gets over the initial disappointment very quickly, and and then just gets on with his convalescence.
It's very sad, mate, when any player gets injured. And I take your point. We've got two centre-halves and young boys, and we've got various people, and especially now, because obviously Kyle can play in that position, Middleton can play in that position, Kent can play in that position. You could have pushed Halliday up in emergency. You could have put Big Boran up there, and depending on the shape of your team or who you're playing, but if Katic and Morales and Goldson ran into each other and not get carried off, we'd be thinking how we're going to manage this at the moment. But let's not belittle for Jamie Murphy. We want him back. We want him part of our squad and see where it takes us. And let's hope the team can unite behind him. Yeah,
absolutely. I think we just, one of the things that a lot of people were querying at the start of the season was how many midfielders would Steven Gerrard had actually purchased. But when you look at the injury to Koulibaly, and then this long-term injury to Jamie Murphy, it is an area of the park where people, it's very high maintenance. These people are playing a lot. Whereas defences can rest sometimes when the team's attacking, the midfield don't have that luxury. So it's just an area of the park that tends to have there's a lot of high pressure on them, and they've got to have a lot of players that can come in and do a job.
Are you saying, Cushy, that you don't put the football players in the midfield or the forwards, you put all the haddies in defence? Is that what you're saying to me?
No. All the unfit and older people go in defence.
All right, I can vouch for that. But
what a shower of shockers!
I accept your point, because you've got an ex-centre half who one season touched the ball 3 times.
These bandanners in midfield. What are you on about?
And then you've got another fullback here who kicked players more than they kicked the ball. You know what I mean? So
that's shocking. Cushy never said anything like that, by the way.
Cushy raised a very good point.
Cushy never said anything like that. Did you, Cushy?
I may have intimated it.
He's a very good judge.
You're a bad man, Cushy. You're a bad man saying these things then. That's terrible.
Rudy
will be hurt. Rudy will be hurt and he'll put him off his foot.
No, not at all, not at all. I think that just when a team's attacking, a defence can get a bit of a rest, and midfield just haven't got that. They just haven't got that luxury.
When everybody else used to get an orange, Rudy used to get raw meat.
Raw meat. And that's a good point that Cushy makes, though. Hard work, and there's a lot of hard work in midfield.
I never done it.
Oh, I'm sure you did. I'm sure you had people round about you had done it. You'd be the silky one, I would imagine. But it's a good point that Cushy makes. If your team back to front, if your team middle to front is firing on all cylinders, and you're at it all the time, you're attacking all the time, the defence does have a chance to have a bit of a breather. Jamie Murphy's been a part of that for us, this season and last season. But fortunately we do have players that can step into that position. That's the positive.
It's the defence that are telling the midfielders what to do and where to go.
I think you're nearly right, Bridge. It's the midfield that's telling the defence where to go.
I don't think so. Not in any team I ever played in. Never in any team I ever played in.
And when I say where to go, it's literally where to go.
Yes, exactly. And we know that, and we know when to say it too.
We've heard you, Ox. We've heard you.
So, what did you make of the Yankee that Jamie Murphy, and your sentiments are right about the engine room of the team? And what did you make of Kyle coming in the day, Cushy?
I think he'll be a good signing for us. I think the lad will do the job, regardless of what you think of circumstances in 2012. The lad mentioned the word the day redeeming himself. So if he wants to do that and come in and work his socks off and score a lot of goals for us, I'm sure exactly the sentiment that happened to Alan McGregor happened to Kyle Lafferty. I think the fans have maybe not forgotten, but they've put aside the way that McGregor left it and came back, simply because he's quite obviously such a fantastic professional, and he's going to be a real asset to the team. And I'm sure Kyle Lafferty come in and it'll be exactly the same, and people will just get behind him. And I think, as one of the panelists said earlier on, 15 to 20 goals a season. I think Lafferty will score us at least 15 goals this season, no problem. And when you see what Morelos can do for us and augment that with Lafferty's 15 goals a season, then I think that type of goal scoring, coupled with the fact that we are not letting many goals in this year, really, honestly, I think it makes us title contenders, where I didn't see that 6 weeks ago, I have to say.
Here. Listen, we've been joined by my mate Fox. How we doing, Fox?
Evening, guys.
Evening, Fox.
How we doing, mate? What have you made of the day's events, mate?
Shame for Jamie Murphy. Didn't he look anything spectacular when he went down? But it wasn't even caused through a challenge. It was just a bit of fate popping up, and there he's out for the rest of the season. It was the same with Dorans last year. It didn't look a bad challenge, and he's been out for a long time. So Jack was the same. Jack was the same. Just these things happen, mate. But good luck to Jamie Murphy. As for Kyle Lafferty, I think it's a shrewd bit of business, somewhere reckoned to be between 400,000 and 500,000. Can cover the front three places, left, right and up front. And I think that he's not going to get as much game time as people think he is for me. Morelos will be the number one unless an injury happens to him. Maybe Jamie Murphy being injured might open up a door on the left. But apart from that, I think he'll be on the bench most of the time, playing the cup games.
A couple of things I like about him is he was 6 feet, 4, 6'3", 6'4", and he's strong as an ox, so he's not going to get pushed around. And he's not a bad jumper, because a couple of times we've seen him at Ibrox, and he's played sort of when the ball's getting kicked out from defence or a goalkeeper. He moved out to the left a wee bit, and he was winning a few balls simply because he was jumping against Tavernier or somebody like who isn't anywhere near the same height. So we'll see what it's like now. But I have to say this, and I urge caution to people. With the last twice I've seen Lafferty at Ibrox, he'd be roundly booed. Each time he touched the ball for a wee while, he was getting roundly booed. So I hope he makes an appearance on Thursday, possibly be introduced before the game, and lets everybody get any venom that they've got in their body, get it out of their body, and let the guy go on and play his game if he gets a game. And when he does come on, don't want to hear any boos. All we want to do is full-blown applause and a big cheer for him because he's back. He's came back.
You know how he remedies that situation, Bridge? Start scoring goals.
Well, I think it's.
I don't think there'll be any boos, and I'll tell you why.
I don't think so either.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Yeah, because the boos would be against the guy who signed them.
All I'm saying is that I hope he gets introduced before the game, right? And then if there's any bad feelings in the crowd, any fans don't like him, let them get that feeling out, vent their anger, get rid of it all out of their system. And when the game starts, Kyle Lafferty plays for us, and he's one of ours. That's it. Go on, mate. That's what I want.
Rudy, you were coming in there, mate.
No, I was just going to say to Bridge there, whatever bad feeling that might remain between the support and Kyle Lafferty, the way he remedies that situation is he starts banging in the goals. Every opportunity he gets, if he hits the back of the net, it'll not take long for the Bears to soon forget, what happened. There's nothing, there's nothing salves pain like optimism, like success. And that's my way of thinking nowadays. Way back in 2012 when they went, I could have seen the back of every single one of them, and one of them in particular more than others. But look, if he puts the jersey on, he starts hitting the back of the net on a regular basis, especially in the big games, the ones that we really, really want him to score in, and he seems to be able to score in, looking at his record last season. The Bears will soon forget about all that, that'll not be a problem, I don't think.
He's a senior pro in our team. I mean, obviously his age, and he's not as old as Alan, but he's 67 caps for Northern Ireland.
Well, he's done all right then, hasn't he, really? I mean, Big Ulster, Batchy's lyrical about him at every opportunity. I'm sure Big Ulster's buzzing that he's not today. It's been a long time coming, it's been going on for a few weeks now. The talk about Lafferty coming back to Rangers, Big Ulster's been pushing at every opportunity, so I'm sure he's absolutely delighted. And you can't argue with his international goal scoring either. I mean, you look at the amount of goals he scored for Northern Ireland, he's done fantastically well for them, So if he can bring that, his international, goal scoring exploits, if he can bring that, what he done at Hearts last year, I think he scored 18 goals or something last year at Hearts. If he can bring that to Rangers, and do as well here for us, then I'm sure we'd be. I certainly would be well chuffed anyway.
I think the words that George Logan used as well is quite important, and everybody's thoughts on this. When he first came to Rangers, it was more than £4 million it cost Rangers to get him, and here he's back again for something like round about £500,000, maybe slightly less than that. That is good business if you're getting a really good player. He's obviously had his problems. He didn't need to go too far to seek the problems, and hopefully he's over those problems. And being with Rangers may help him to get on with life and succeed again. And let's hope he does it, and he does it with us and scores a lot of goals.
I hope you're right, Bridge. I hope you're right. Let's hear from Kyle Lafferty, and then we can comment on it. So if you don't mind going on mute, lads.
Kyle, how happy are you to be back at Rangers?
Yeah, obviously I've supported them since I was a kid, and I've played here before, but obviously the way I left, I was disappointed, and walking out them doors 6-7 years ago, it basically broke my heart, but to be given a second chance to redeem myself and put things right, I jumped at the chance, and I'm happy to be home.
Did you always want to come home, as you said?
Yeah, of course. I always wanted to put things right and come here and obviously show the fans what I'm all about. But did I think I was going to get another chance? I didn't think. But obviously I went to Hearts last season, had a good season, and I've been given a second chance, which I'm lucky to be given.
When did you first hear of Rangers' interest, and then did you need any persuasion to actually take them up on it?
I think it was about 5-6 weeks ago. I heard, but you hear things every single day. But I just turned up for training, worked hard, and scored goals. And obviously, I'm here today, and I'm delighted.
The fact that you're coming into Rangers at this time, Steven Gerrard's just taken over. It's been an incredible start to the season. It must be a good time to be coming back to Rangers for you.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're heading in the right direction. I think the gaffer's come in and he's got us playing very well, attacking and defensively. He's brought in very good players. So it's been a long time to sit and see a Rangers team like this. So it's exciting times ahead.
Did Steven Gerrard speak to you at all before you signed? What did he have to say to you?
No, he didn't speak to me. But obviously I watched every game on TV, and I wanted to be part of it because they're heading in the right direction, and obviously I want to be involved in winning trophies.
As a fan, have you seen him bring back to Rangers that fight, that belief that you perhaps have in you and how you play? Yeah,
I think the Maribor away was the one that made me think, wow, this is the real Rangers. Every other game they've been attacking, and they've done well going forward, and obviously defensively. But against Maribor away, it was more back to the walls, and they've come out of it with the result that they needed. So that was pretty impressive. And as I said, I want to be here and winning trophies, and I think with the squad of players that we have, we'll do that.
You mentioned winning trophies. You've won 3 league titles here in the past. 2 League Cups, 2 Scottish Cups, that way around?
Something like that.
Something like that. Too many to remember.
3 leagues, definitely.
Is that experience something that you can bring to this squad, and was that something that was mentioned to you perhaps that was important to bringing you into this squad?
Yeah, I think obviously I know how to win, and I want to win every single game, no matter who's it against. I want to walk off the pitch with the 3 points, and then obviously progress into the cup. And obviously I want to win trophies here, and we've got the squad of players that I think we will. So yeah, I've got the experience of winning trophies, but I think it takes a full team, full squad of players to win a trophy. And what I've seen so far this season, it's a good squad.
At Rangers, in your previous spell, you were a big game player. You always popped up at the right moments. I imagine you haven't lost that, have you?
Over the last year, I've scored some important goals for Hearts, but I like to say I play all right in every game, to be honest. But yeah, I score big goals. I think I've done that all my career, but I think throughout the whole squad there's goals everywhere, and that's most important. I think it's difficult for the team to rely on 1-2 players. There's goals throughout the squad, and it's a good place to be.
Where do you see yourself fitting into this team? Because the manager said in his press conference today that he sees you as a number 9. Is that what he's told you?
I haven't really spoke to the gaffer yet. He's going to pull me and have a word with me, but Alfredo's doing really, really well at the minute. I don't know if it's the pressure of someone else coming in, but he's upped his game. So whether the gaffer sees playing 1 or 2 strikers, I'm there ready to go. If he sees me as the number 9, then I've played there before as a lone striker, but if he sees me and Alfredo, then I'm happy to do that as well. At the end of the day, we're here to get the same reward. So,
from watching from afar, can you see yourself having a good relationship with Alfredo on the pitch?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm not too sure with the language barrier, but I think we'll understand each other. And at the end of the day, we want to score goals and we want to do the best for the team. So I think we'll be good.
Have you changed as a player since you left Rangers? Do you think the fans will see a different footballer to the perhaps they saw 7 years ago?
I've calmed down a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've let my football do the talking rather than be the joker. I still enjoy a joke. I think you have to have that personality in the dressing room, and I'll definitely be that person. But when you cross that white line, I know what the fans expect, and I know what the gaffer will expect from me. And I'll know what I'll need to give.
Do you think that then therefore means you're in fact going to cope with the pressure better because you're a bit more mellow?
Yeah, I think I will. I think I should.
What was your favourite moment from the last spell that you had at Rangers?
Probably the Kilmarnock game. to go and score 3 goals in the game that we needed to win the league. But I was lucky enough to go on and score the winning goal the 3 times that we won the league. So I scored some good goals for Rangers, but I think obviously the hat-trick stands out.
Have you been dreaming of those moments over the past couple of weeks? It's been getting closer.
I've watched that 7 minutes of football probably every single night, to be honest. Yeah, those are the things that you play for, that you work on the training ground to achieve on match day. And I have watched that 7 minutes so much, and even when I was in other clubs, I used to pop on Twitter and used to watch it, and I used to love it because it's me playing for my team that I supported and winning trophies for them. So it's an exciting time back then, and I think it's even going to be more exciting.
On that then, have you got a message for the fans?
Obviously the way I left the first time, I was disappointed, and I think I was advised wrongly by people that was looking after me. It was a difficult decision that I made, and I regret it from the day I walked out them doors, but I'm here now, and you'll find a different person, a person that will know how to win and will bring 55 home.
That'll do for me, that last sentence.
55? What to end up like that? Just fantastic. Well said. Well said.
Aye, well said, big man.
I don't want to say he's more mature just because he's signed for our club, but naturally he'd be more mature because he was early 20s. He's now about 30, am I right when I say that, Fox? He's 30?
Aye, just in the 20s.
Aye, so, I mean, when you're early 20s, mid 20s, and you get your 30s, life does move on for you a bit. And so, look, 55 will do me, Cushy, and he could bring a lot to us.
I thought it was an excellent interview from him, to be honest with you. You know, and I think he set the right tone in terms of how he left the club the last time and what he wants to do moving forward. So yeah, I thought it was an excellent interview for him. Interesting he's saying about the manager's tactics and how he wants to play. I would love to see us, playing Morelos and Lafferty up front as a top two in a number of games. I'm not saying we do it every single game, but I would love to see us doing it, more often than not, particularly when we're at Ibrox. I think in a kind of 3-5-2 with Lafferty and Morelos up front, I think would be absolutely excellent. I think those two would cause teams no end of problems. And I would love to see that. So I don't think it's coming just to sit in the sidelines and waiting. Morelos doing his shift for 80 minutes, then coming off, and then Kyle Lafferty makes a cameo. I just don't see that being the position at all. I don't think. But by the sounds of Lafferty, he thinks he's going to be playing his end, his understudy. So I would love to see him a regular starter, particularly up front in some kind of 3-5-2 or 4-4-2 formation. I think him and Morelos up front would be absolutely sensational.
Can he play tomorrow night, Fox? I think he can he? With these crazy rules.
I think
he can. Yes, he can. I think, but he goes on under a different name. I don't think he Wildcard type thing, So
they used to call that player Joker Bridge.
That's correct. That's correct. And how many wild cards he's got today, lads? 11.
Fox, do you think he'll be involved tomorrow night?
I don't think so, mate. I watched the interview, and he was training away for the main squad. But I could see, and he joined in later on. He was quite forward in saying whether he would play up front or play along with Morelos for me. He's not spoken to Steven Gerrard yet, so we'll need to wait and see what he says about him, I think, I could possibly see him being on the left-hand side, but he'll not take Morelos' place at any time at all, I don't think.
All right.
I think if he gets a chance, Oxchair, I think really and truly, if he gets a chance, he'll be playing tomorrow night at some time in the game. That's what I think.
Yeah, but that'll be the manager. That'll be his decision. He'll want to play, but the manager's got
That's a manager of meaning.
The manager's got a harder decision to make, Rudy.
Absolutely.
Certainly. It's like I said, I don't think anybody's taking Alfredo's position anytime soon, because he's been absolutely fantastic for us since the start of the season. He's scoring goals. He's working hard. He looks like he's trimmed down a wee bit, so he's looking fit. He's got pace. He likes a bit of a battle with the defenders. We saw him out in Maribor. He was a nightmare for the centre backs. They must have been sick of the sight of them by the end of the 90 minutes, And then he gets his hat trick at the weekend there. Could have had 4 easily. Should have done. So I don't think anybody's taking Alfredo's place. But Big Kyle sitting on the bench. As I say, you're looking for a goal. 15 minutes left in the game. He'd be a good man.
If people want to join us and give their thoughts on it, what's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone, Bridge, man.
Okay, the phone number's in. Do you want to call us in? It's 0141 356 1972.
And what can they talk about, Rudy?
He can talk about all things and everything to do with the famous Glasgow Rangers.
The famous Glasgow Rangers.
It'd be great to hear people's thoughts. And as I said, Big Ulster will be ways later. We're going to put a poll on Facebook and see how that goes. But we'll just
I have to say, can I go back to the Lafferty? I can't see the manager not taking the opportunity, providing he sees a slot where he can do it. I can't see anything other than Lafferty getting some time on tomorrow night in front of the Ibrox Park, right where Ibrox Sports.
I think what we were seeing with Steven Gerrard, mate, he's no scared to make decisions. No, and if he'll have his set plays, his situations set up, and whatever else he thinks, and whether he thinks it's the right time to bring Kyle Lafferty in. Would I be surprised if he was on the bench? No, I wouldn't be.
I think it'll depend how he's on tomorrow night, Ox, whether Lafferty gets on. It'll be his first game back at the club, and I think it depends. If Alfredo's running the show up front and bangs a couple of goals in, Steven Gerrard might look to the weekend, and they maybe think, right, it's time to take Alfredo off, give him a wee bit of a break, another wee rest. He's done his business, he's done his work for us. Let's get Kyle and see if Kyle can get a goal as well, which I think would be the ideal scenario for me, really. So I think it'll depend how the match has gone on Thursday.
But Tushy, what it does again is it strengthens my squad.
Definitely, with injury to Murphy, actually, that's an area where actually Lafferty could come in and do a job if we really needed him to do. I don't think he'll start tomorrow night. I think he'll bring Ryan Jack back in and have Candace and Kent on in the wide right, wide left. So I think he'll be at Lafferty on the bench, but there is the option, the lads played there when he used to play for Rangers, on the left, time and time again. So there's no doubt he's got the experience, and he could certainly do that role, and it just gives us so many options, and particularly it's almost a little bit surreal that we're bringing him in and just less than a week after Murphy, who was playing in that kind of left midfield role, is injured. Because I do think Lafferty could fit in there if required. It's not something that I would. It's not. I don't see Lafferty as the reason that we've signed Lafferty is that particular role. I see him as more as a forward, but there's no doubt he could fit in there if required, which is handy, and certainly, as you say, gives us a lot of options in midfield.
And what else he's done is if he's on the pitch, let's just say he was happy to be on my starting 11 in the Jamie Murphy role or the Ryan Kent role or whatever, the left side of the front three. All of a sudden we've got, if Koulibaly's playing, Morelos is there, Goldson and Katic come up for set pieces. We've got this physicality that we didn't have, Bridge.
Absolutely. I think that our whole defence now is certainly what I wanted. Right across there, Tavernier's actually toughened himself up a bit as well. But the introduction of John Flanagan and subsequently Barisic, or Barasic, whatever you call him, it's transformed. It's transforming our team. So you get your three, your goalkeeper and your two centre backs, and also all three of them are tough as nails. And out to the right back, left back, very tough. And if you've got Ryan Jack in front of them, what a diamond there, what brilliant. Just fantastic, really. Very, very tough team now. And I'd put our team up against anybody from a toughness perspective. Not a dirty team, can I say that? Although we've actually received a lot of yellow and red cards, and I think some of them were just shocking decisions. But we're not a dirty team at all. No way.
Does this show you that Steven Gerrard Fox has done his homework, what it takes in Scottish football?
I'm beginning to wonder if it's a Mark Allen signing, mate. When he said he hadn't talked to the manager, I found that the first thing I thought was that this is a Mark Allen signing. But when you look at it, it's a good deal for our club. 2-year deal. We're not getting stronger the calls for a 3 or 4 year deal. He's accepted a 2-year deal. He's keen to come. The price is right. And he covers a number of positions. Smart signing for the board, you know.
Here.
Could you?
Well, he's 6'3", Kyle Lafferty. So, you know, right away we've added a physicality and a height to our attack. You know, that we didn't have from the likes of Kent or whoever were playing up front, or you know, Jamie Murphy or whatever. You know, we've went through in 8 weeks from a kind of a physically quite a small team. You know, the likes of Holt and Docherty. You know, for all the boys worked their socks off. You know, they weren't. You know, there's nobody going to say the boys were big. You know, or had a physical presence. You know, and Steven Gerrard has transformed the makeup of the team. You know, from a relatively small team into a team of giants. You know, we've got Coulson, Gatic, you know, Lafferty, Barisic is 6'1". You know, you've got Koulibaly, you've got Ajaria, who's about 6'3" or 6'4" himself. You know, so we've got a big, you know, physically intimidating team. You know, I wouldn't like to be walking out onto the pitch at Ibrox and looking across at our team and looking up to every single one of them as they walk down the line. You know, because you must be thinking, you know, that is a big team. That's a team of giants. You know, we are. You know, I'm not looking forward to this game, and that all adds to the fact that Gerrard is talking about making Ibrox a fortress again. Well, you know, you want the teams to be beaten before they walk out, and if you're starting to look at our team and you're seeing the size of them before you're walking out, you know, I hope the opposition is starting to think, I don't fancy this, and you know that comes back to the size of the signings that we're making.
Was it in the previous few years? Was it been the complete opposite that people standing because we didn't have a lot of physicality in my team?
Well, I think, you know, certainly some of the teams who have come up against that, I don't think I've been afraid of coming to Ibrox at all. I think you know, walking out, I've looked across and I've thought, you know, I'm going to be able to win my personal battle against you. You know, and then we'll see where it takes us. And if you've got enough of the opposition are thinking that when they're walking out at Ibrox, you know, we're struggling right away. That should not be the case. You know, I don't think that's going to be the case going forward with Steven Gerrard's teams. You know, there's an old phrase: I'd rather a good big one will always beat a good little one. And while it might not be always the case in football, because there's always the exception to the rule, the likes of Lionel Messi and things like that. You know, in Scottish football, I think it generally holds true. You know, and I would rather my team was big, intimidating, and had a big physical presence, as well as having the talent, obviously. But you know, that married to a big physical presence, I think half the battle's won before teams walk out into the park at Ibrox.
Talking about guys with a big physical presence, we've been joined by Big Ulster. How we doing, big man?
All right, guys. How are you?
Right, Ulster.
How are you?
Doing well. I'm just back from our own club meeting there, so I haven't really got listened to the show. So
you've not missed much, pal. You've not missed much. Oxchair's been telling us all about how great these midfielders are, but I don't think he's right.
We're finished. We're actually just going to cut it an hour because there wasn't a lot to talk about. Come on, big man. Come on. You're hiding it well. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Delighted with Lafferty, yes, of course.
Yes.
Delighted.
I'm pleased for you, Ulster. I'm pleased for you, pal. I knew you would be happy with that. I knew you'd be happy.
I am. I'm very happy. Very happy.
What was at your club meeting? What were people saying, mate?
Yeah, a lot of people were. Some of the boys were maybe worried, obviously, of past things that have happened, which a lot of the support is. But I think there were more overall majority of the boys were very happy Lafferty were in, and they were very happy with where the club's going, mate. So it was actually a good meeting. Normally we're a bit down at our meetings, but today it was a good one. Everybody was talking about where we're going and the direction the club seems to be going, mate. So it was great tonight to see all the boys happy.
That makes a big difference, also, doesn't it? From last season, walking out of Ibrox after the games, to this season, walking out of Ibrox after the games, you can hear people. You can hear the happiness in their voice when they're talking to their mates or their sons or whatever, walking down the road. Just brilliant. Just brilliant. What a difference.
Definitely, mate.
Can I just say on that, what Cushy was talking about the tall, I've always stated that our managers, certainly this manager, because he's the one we've got now, we shouldn't be looking at anybody under 6'1" now. We should be looking at people 6 feet. Obviously, they've got to be high quality players. They've got to be able to play football. But as Cushy said there, a good big one is better than a good wee one. And that's what from now on, that's what we want to do, in my opinion.
At his peak, Rudy, he knocked back Raquel Welsh because she wasn't tall enough.
Who's that, Bridgeman?
Aye.
It's a good point that the boys have been making there, that about the physicality in the team. I mean, so many times last season, we looked at the midfield and you wee Jason Holt there, and you could never deny wee Jason's industry. Fantastic wee player. But probably about 8 stone, 9 stone wet through, really. Well, as you look at the team now, you've got Koulibaly, Jack, you've got Goldson, Katic, Barisic, all these guys are like 6 feet and over, up front now. We've got big Kyle Lafferty up front, so the physicality from last year is just way beyond what we, very little physicality in the team last year, I thought. Easily pushed off the ball. I don't see that happening this time, this season. We've got hopefully Koulibaly's back sooner rather than later. Because I think that boy's an absolute warrior in the midfield. The amount of grass he covers is brilliant to watch. So for me, it's like Cushy was saying, you come out the tunnel, you're looking up and you're thinking, wow, they're a big team, big in stature, imposing, height-wise, physical,
Warriors. Warriors.
Teams are going to be looking at them and thinking this is not going to be an easy day at the office this, against these guys. And that never happened last year. We never had anything like that last year. We had sort of bottom teams in the bottom of the league pushing us off the ball, kicking us out of the park, all sorts of stuff. That's true. That's not going to happen.
Rudy, that's so true. You could see that every time. We were second best in a lot of places in a lot of one-to-ones. And I'm hoping that this, looking at the men that I've seen, and obviously I haven't seen them away from home other than on the TV, and they've got a lot of fight in them. And to go the amount of games away from home and no concede goals, it's just fabulous. It's just fabulous, man.
I also think in Albridge, from the height, as far as the height of the players goes, that's certainly improved since last year. From set pieces, corner kicks, free kicks, stuff like that. You're going to have Barisic, Goldson, Katic, Big Lafferty if he's on the park. You're going to have these over 6 footers in the box,
That's what you need, isn't it?
Well, that's something else to have last season.
Absolutely, yeah. I have to say this. I mean, I look at the young lads that we've got in on loan, the loan players. There's some of them you would say, gift wrap them here. We'll keep them. Koulibaly's one. We'll keep him. Just you never mind the loan. You're one of our players now.
I agree.
It's wonderful to watch.
I agree.
It's wonderful to watch. The big is it a Jerry?
Who's done the homework then? Who's done the homework? I mean, obviously Stephen Gerrard's been listening to the show and listening to yourself, Bridge. But have they looked at the model that it's went to? I mean, I think there was a game up in Ross County. I think we might have won it. I think Cummings came off the park and scored. But football-wise, we played them off the park. But when our team went up against it, it It was like
muscles.
paperweights. It was
Yeah,
like paperweights
absolutely.
versus strong and big middleweights and upwards, you know, because they were all strong and physical. And look, we still maybe beat them in football, but it always gave us a problem this year.
Well, I think Mark Allen said it in a recent interview. He had to have a look at Scottish football, see what was required, and then build from there in terms of the player that we're looking for. So, you know, nobody's got a crystal ball. Mark Allen is not going to walk in from Man City or wherever they came from and be able to say, you know, we need this type of player or that type of player. He's got to have a look at the environment and he's got to say, right, and then make his judgment. And I think he's done that, you know, and he's seen right, you know, first and foremost in Scotland, you've got to win the physical battle in every game that you play. And Scottish football gets a lot of detractors, but one of the things that I think every team has got to do when they come to play a Scottish team is win that physical battle. And the only way you're going to do that is being big and strong and really, really fit. You know, that is kind of base level that a Rangers player has now got to be at. And then, you know, then we've got to win that physical battle, and then we've got to take the quality that we've got and make that actually win us the games. You know, and the likes of Tavernier, you know, making these 3 assists. You know, we're only doing that after we've actually, you know, we've kind of cowed the other team, and we've shown them that we're not going to just roll over and die because we're in a plastic park and we're away from home. You know, so the quality the likes of Morelos is shown and things like that. You know, that's good, right? Don't get me wrong, we absolutely need it. But I feel in Scotland it's part and parcel of having the physicality as well. You know, you're not going to a kind of Arsene Wenger tippy tappy team is not going to win up here. I'm not, by saying that, I don't mean that, you know, just take Arsenal up here and they're not going to win anything. That's not what I mean. But a team that likes to put in perfect, you know, play perfect football and that type of thing. Probably the closest I get to is a Mark Warburton team. You know, trying to score the perfect goal all the time by playing round a team is just that's not going to work. You know, you've got to win the physical battle, and I think Mark Allen has taken that on board, and I think probably Steven Gerrard already knew that before he even came here, and I don't think he looked at any games at all. I think that guy just knows what's required to win, regardless of the environment.
Here. Can I just say one thing on that? I agree everything you said. I don't want to see any of our midfield, any of them, getting brushed aside by Rogic ever again. Nobody. That guy shouldn't be brushing any of our players aside and having a shot at goal. Sorry. No, that's not right.
And he did bridge, whether we like it or not.
Absolutely.
He's not the hardest player in the world, but he ragdolled us a few times.
Absolutely.
Listen, can we just put a shout out to let you know a future event where it was confirmed today that Hugh Burns will be joining us on the show next Tuesday night, mate? Ulster.
Yes, that's right, mate. Fantastic. So that's all confirmed for us, and it's a goer. So it'll be great to hear from Hugh. Not only his own experience as a player, but it'll be great to hear his thoughts is on the team and where we're going. So it's going to be a great night.
Yeah, fair play for him. Take the time to join us, and obviously we'll be talking about it before we get to there. But lads, I can't believe where that hours went. If you don't mind going on mute, we'll have a tune for Fox. There we go, just to let everybody know that was a Stonyburn Crown Defenders, and it just shows you Big Kyle asked for it and we played it. There you go, Bridgeman.
Well done, George Logan. That was brilliant.
Yeah, so George.
Well done, boys.
Right, tomorrow night, I think there's literally, and I mean, a couple of dozen seats left for the game tomorrow night. Literally, a couple of dozen, so they might go even tonight online. Cushy nearly 200,000 people through the gates at Europe. Throw the friendlies in against Wigan and Burnley. What was it? Bury. Bury. We're getting close to 300,000 people through the gates, and the season's not really started yet. Just in non-league games, it's unbelievable.
It's all money in the coffers, you know, and I was a little bit sceptical when I seen board announcements saying we need European football, because I was looking at Europa League and I was thinking, well, what are they talking about? The prize money isn't really all that great. If we get to the second round of the playoffs, it's not really all that good. But then I had actually looked at it in terms of gate receipts, money coming in from the bar, that type of thing, and then the money just stacks up the further you go in this, and to get to the group stages of it, having a sellout every single time that we've played in every single game at home, we've had a sellout, and I've no reason to believe that's going to change when we get to the group stages. It's absolutely fantastic, and the amount of money it's bringing in for us, when all we've heard about for the last few years is, you've no money, budget's tight, that type of thing. It's absolutely stunning. It more than pays for the outlay on players that we've brought in through Steven Gerrard's transfer window. So absolutely brilliant. And taking away the financial aspect, there was absolutely no better night than a European night at Ibrox. The Maribor game was absolutely brilliant. The atmosphere was superb. And it's just fantastic to see these nights back and games that really mean something, and because the friendlies are one thing against Bury, but games where, something's on the line, whether it's getting through to the next round, or qualifying out the group, or just getting into the group in the first stage, these are the nights you want to be at, and they're just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, that's without the prize money as well, mate, which is, as you said, adds up when you get through all these qualifiers, but
well, yeah, you're 2.3 million euros, I think, to qualify for the group stage, if memory serves. But because we've came for all through the rounds, I think we've tallied up about €1 million on top of that. Plus that's only prize money. That's excluding anything else. So it's a lot of cash. And I was a bit dismissive of Europa League in terms of the cash input to the club, and I thought maybe it was just the board saying, we need more money. But I stand corrected in that respect when I see the amount of money that's actually come in for a European run. And if we can get to these group stages and get another 6 games or another 3 at home, so much the better, because that for me in Europe this year, getting to the group stages was a holy grail, to be within, essentially 2 games of achieving that, I think it's absolutely superb, and I just fingers crossed that we get it together tomorrow night, and we take a good lead across to Russia, and we can walk into these group stages, because I don't think MD will have a walkover when they come to Ibrox, even we get into the group.
Can I come in on that?
Can you go, mate?
I was just going to say, as far as I'm led to believe, forgive me if I've got it wrong, but figuratively speaking, for just reaching the group stages, the base fee is something like £2.5 million, just in the group stages, just getting there. And you're quite right, Cushy, you're saying it. You've got the TV money to come on top of that, as far as I'm led to believe, and then you've got your gate receipts and so on and so forth. So that's going to mount up to quite a few quid. But if you're getting £2.5 million just for getting there, and you take all the money the Rangers have have got in the now for the 3 games that we've had up to now, you're talking way over £3 million. That's a tremendous for the. That's if we get there, of course. A big if we get there, but that's just tremendous. I mean, over £3 million, getting close to £4 million if you count all the receipts in. If we get all the games in the group stages, wow, you're mounting up £4 or £5 million. Your club's desperate for that. Desperate.
I think the backdrop to the whole thing, Ox, if you ask me, is the support from the Rangers supporters. You know, I think it's phenomenal what they've done this season and last season. I mean, not just this season, last season as well. But this season more so than any other season. You know, right from the very start, they've bought into it. Steven Gerrard coming to the club, you know, bringing his backroom staff in, bringing the new players in that he wanted, the kind of style of football that he's playing. And for me, just even the fact that we're sitting here tonight talking about getting to the group stages after we've got 180 minutes of football here or there to play, and if we're successful over that 180 minutes, we'll be in a European competition, the group stage of a European competition. For me, that's just phenomenal success compared to last year. I could never, at the end of last season, I could never have seen this coming. Never in a million years could I have seen this coming, Ox.
Yeah, fair comment.
To use one of your expressions that I've heard you say many a time on this podcast, build it and they will come.
Yeah. And by the way, we may need to build it bigger if we're going to get it right, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we spoke about that just a couple of weeks back, didn't we? You know, there's a waiting list for season tickets already. You know, we've reduced the away allocation for now on. Everybody gets the corner and that's it. You know, and that was to accommodate our own fans. I know some of the Bears are not happy about that, but for me, we should always be looking after our own fans first before anybody else.
But Rudy, that's just for league games, yeah.
Yeah. I know that.
Okay.
I know that. Aye.
Well, there's no Russians. I mean, that'll be the second time this season there'll be no away fans. You know, second 2 out of the 4 ties so far.
I mean,
so potentially they're the highest gates we'll have at Ibrox all season.
That's right, and they've gone already, more or less, haven't they? Ox, you know, as you just say, there's what did you say, a couple of dozen maybe left?
Aye, that's about it. I dotted on when they got on. I just checked. Well, Fox played that LP.
It's phenomenal support for the Rangers fans, you know what I mean? And it just shows you, you know, you put a decent team on the park, you put a team that's willing to fight for that badge, you know, and willing to play, and they're playing by no stretch of the imagination, they're playing good football as well at times. You know, it's not just all about physicality nowadays. There's also some really good football players in that team now. You put them on the park, you put a good team in the park, you put a guy at the side of the park who's a leader, and the fans will back them. And that's exactly what the Rangers fans are doing just now.
They're just wonderful, really. Just wonderful.
Obviously, the build up to tomorrow night, I think it would make sense to hear from Steven Gerrard and Connor Goldson. We can get maybe an insight, any clues on the team, etc. So if you don't mind going on mute, lads, let's hear from Connor Goldson and our manager, Steven Gerrard, MB.
Sakes, Kyle Lafferty, can you bring us up to speed where we are with him, perhaps?
Yeah, it's ongoing. Talks are closer, but there's nothing else to really report on it just yet. But like yourself, I hope it's the last time we have to speak about it, and it's done in the near future. But yeah, it's closer. The last time we speak, in fact, it's very close. Verbally, there's an agreement in place. But as you know, when you get that verbal agreement, there's still bits and bobs to do around it. So until we get the green light, there's nothing really to announce. But yeah, it's very close.
How hopeful are you of getting it over the line in time for him to be eligible for this game?
Yeah, very hopeful. If we do manage to do it in time, of course, he'll be available and he'll be involved. But you know, I don't want to jump the gun and get excited too early. As I say, we've got a verbal agreement with Hearts, and we are very hopeful that it'll be done and dusted to make him available. If not, we have to be a bit more patient.
He knows what it's like to win silverware at this football club. How important is that to have that element within your squad, perhaps?
Well, that's the key, and that's vital to me and to us. He knows what this club's about. There's no risk in terms of him performing in front of the demand of this crowd and this club and the expectation. I believe we're a young squad, So he brings vital experience to us. He's a Rangers nut. He knows he's desperate to come. And I think he ticks all the boxes that I'm looking for and what I want from a frontman. We know we're quite bare up there without him, so that's the reason why we want him.
Sometimes he was a bit emotional, a bit raw at times in the past. He made a few mistakes when he was younger. Do you sense you're getting a more experienced, more rounded individual from the talks you've had?
Well, I was raw and I was experienced and I made similar mistakes and I got overexcited. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I love that in a footballer. Of course, we want to channel it in the right direction. But I think with age and maturity, I got more experience and calmed down and simmered a bit. But at the same time, still tried to play on the edge. And I think that's where top performances come and important performances. They always come when players play on the edge.
That's one positive bit of news for potentially. Jamie Murphy's situation, is it too early still to assess the injuries, the scan?
No, we've had that confirmation just. And unfortunately it's sad news for Jamie. I'm bitterly disappointed over it. He'll be missing for the remainder of the season. He's got an ACL injury and we got the news that we all didn't want.
Very nice lad, Jamie, very good natured lad, very hard worker. How's he taking that? Must be a bit of blow for him.
He's coming to terms with it now, but at the beginning he was upset, as you can understand. He's a player that loves playing the game. He's been excellent for me since day one. And I think we're trying to look for the positives out of it now, and I think it's important that Jamie does everything he can in terms of his rehab, and he comes back in the best physical condition he can come back in to get back as quick as possible. But we'll give him every bit of support he needs from now till the moment he comes back for us, and we'll stick with him. He's a very important player for us for many, many years, so disappointed he'll be missing for the rest of the season, but we'll be waiting for him next season for sure.
Having reviewed the incident, do you think the pitch was to blame for it?
It's not important now. The important thing is that we've lost a very good player. So that certainly weakens us. The important thing now is the player and his welfare, and we need to give him every bit of care. We'll make sure we send him to the right people, the experts that he needs to see. And you know, we all stick with him, and you know, we help him, because it's a tough, lonely place when you're out for that long. But I'm sure all the players and myself will give him the support he needs to keep his spirits up, and we'll get him back as soon as possible. Whether I blame the pitch now or not, it's not important.
Will you be looking to bring somebody else in because of that injury?
We'll see.
You were talking last week about potentially another centre-half you were looking for. Are you any closer to that?
No, I'm still looking. But I've been very, very lucky in the centre-back area so far, getting this fella over the line to come and play for us. And obviously Nico as well, they've both been two rocks for me, being so consistent from start to finish. And they've certainly helped me in terms of looking for a centre half, because they've been so durable. And but yeah, I would like to get another body in that position. That'll give me the luxury to obviously change formation maybe, or you know, pull one of them two out to help them in terms of giving them a breather and a blow. But him and Nico have been absolutely brilliant for me.
In terms of tomorrow night, you're looking for a similar approach to the Maribor home leg?
Well, I think at Ibrox with the crowd, you know, it's another full house. The crowd are excited. We know they're going to take the roof off. I think we have to go with that. We have to be positive on the front foot, and I'm looking for a top-class performance from my team. So yeah, we'll be looking for a performance full of aggression and intensity, and I think that's when we're at our best. I think you're seeing it certainly for the second half against Maribor, but for the opening 15-20 minutes we played at a very good speed that they couldn't live with. So yeah, it won't be too far different.
Do you expect this to be a step up in standard from Maribor, or similar sort of standard?
I think it's difficult to judge. They're a different team, different personnel. They're on the back of a 3-0 defeat on Monday night, but I won't look into that too much because they made 6 changes. Russian teams will be technically gifted. I think they'll look to play on the counter here at Ibrox. So, you know, we're aware of their strengths, but we're also aware of their weaknesses as well, and it's my job to give the players a game plan that they're comfortable with, which we'll work on before the game, and then it's over to the players to go and deliver the performance to make the fans proud, and I'm confident they can deliver that.
When you look at the away leg with the long journey and the artificial surface, does that make it even more important to get a positive result in a home leg?
It's irrelevant if they play on plastic or we've got to travel. We're looking for a positive result here at Ibrox anyway. That's what our fans demand, and that's what I demand as a manager. So we'll face whatever we have to face, but the important thing is to focus on this game and try and get the best result we can.
Is Rossana Koulibaly expected to be involved?
No.
Any other injury news?
No.
Conor, how much have you enjoyed your partnership at the back this season and with the games you played?
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously we was lucky to keep a few clean sheets at the start, and I think that gave the whole team a bit of confidence in each other. Obviously being a new defensive unit, it's good to start with keeping clean sheets, and I think that confidence has just grew, and now I think that we're quite settled together.
Has it exceeded your expectations when you come to a new club to have a start like this?
Yeah, but no, I knew I was joining a massive club, and obviously we spoke about in the summer, me and the gaffer, that we wanted to get this club into Europe, so we're one leg away. That's a good start, and we've started well in the league. Obviously the Aberdeen tie wasn't all that we wanted it to be. We wanted to get 3 points, but to play the majority of the game with 10 men, I thought that we did well.
It's been a whirlwind start, hasn't it, with all the games? How have you found it physically and mentally?
Yeah, no, it's been good. That's what I came here to do. I wanted to play football again, and I'm enjoying myself. Games are coming thick and fast, and that's what you want as a footballer. You just want to play every week, and we're playing 2 games a week, and it's just literally play a game, rest, recover, and go again. So, no, I'm happy.
How different is it playing the European games? Are you learning different things and facing different styles of teams as well? Is that been a good learning process as well?
I just think it's just every team these days wants to play football. I just think that every team has their own style, and especially European teams, they have their own style of playing, and it's been good. I think we've done really well so far in the games that we've played, and we have one more tough tie to play, and then hopefully, if we do well, the same as we've been doing, we can get into group stages.
Do you already feel after just a few weeks or a couple of months here that the momentum you built up at home at Ibrox, you really are you can be confident of playing anybody here?
Yeah, definitely. I think we need to make our home ground a fortress. It's the same as any big team. You want people to be intimidated when they come to your home, and especially here with the crowd that we get and the noise that they make. If you can thrive off that, then it's not going to be nice for anyone to come here, and I think that we're getting there. We're playing at such a high tempo at home that it's hard for teams to come here and match us, so we just need to carry on.
How much have you enjoyed having Al McGregor behind you? He's got a lot of praise recently for his performances.
Yeah, no, he's been brilliant. Yeah, he deserves all the praise. Obviously last week against Maribor I thought he was outstanding. He hasn't really had many shots to save before that. But no, he's been good. It's good to have a good keeper behind you that you trust and you believe in, and it's always nice for a defender that if you make a mistake or there's shots on goal, you believe in your keeper that he's going to make saves, and Griggsy does that.
Does that feed through to the whole back line? Yeah,
of course, it's just a trust, and I trust him that when there's shots that you actually think he's going to save, even the penalty the other day, you have like confidence in him that he's got a chance of saving it, which he did, and he's been brilliant.
You've already worn the captain's armband here. What does that mean to you to be given that sort of honour? Yeah, it is. That's exactly what it is. It's an honour. I was proud. I had my family at the game, and it was nice to be able to captain the team. But I think Tav's been brilliant from what I've seen him in this season, and he deserves to wear the captain's armband every week. He's been outstanding. I think he's took his game to a new level. When I come here in pre-season, I said to him that he is a Premier League defender. He just needs to sort out his defending at times, and so far he's been brilliant. He's defended unbelievable the way he attacks. I haven't really played with a right back before that can attack like that, and I think if he carries on, he'll have a great future. Although it's still early in your Rangers career, are you comfortable, featuring as one of the leaders in that changing room?
Yeah, I feel fine. I don't see myself as a leader. I just see myself as me. I've always been vocal, especially on the pitch, and I just think that's needed as a centre half, and I've just always been that way from a young age, but it's just the way I am, and if that's what you class as a leader, then so be it.
Well, thanks for that, Fox.
Massive words of wisdom from both. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Very. Our manager, he's not going to take any snash for the press, is he? Cushy. You know, he's not interested because Jamie Murphy's injury. It's done now. You have to deal with it. You know,
his handling
any snash.
No, his handling of the press has been absolutely superb. You know, he's not. I've said previously, I don't think he's got a foot wrong. You know, and he's that has been. They've kind of cottoned on to that very, very quickly, I think, the press. So the kind of snidey, you know, backhand comments that we used to get from them in terms of trying to create a headline for the next day, it has completely disappeared. You know, I've noticed that questions from the press are very, very businesslike now. That kind of wasn't the case. You know, under Murty or Pedro, where we were looking for a headline, and there was I felt a quite obvious kind of lack of respect for the previous management. That's simply not the case with this guy, you know. So, and he knows. I don't know where he gets it from. Whether he's just used to handling the press as Liverpool captain, and he's just done this week in, week out, you know. And as when he's captained England, he's just done it week in, week out, and he just grew into it. You know but certainly it just gives the impression that he's been doing it for years, you know, and the experience that he's obviously had as a Liverpool and England captain is just paying off in spades at the moment, and I think the Scottish press have recognised that.
Rudy?
I think he probably has, as Cushy says. He's been dealing with it for years. England captain, Liverpool captain, Champions League, and all that stuff, you know. He's sat and dealt with the press. I would imagine, though, he's not dealt with anybody like the press up here, though. But he's handing them off, as they say in rugby, easily. There's no competition for him, simple as that. And you know, and another point that Cushy touched on there is they seem to be showing him they seem to be showing him a bit of respect. You know, they ask him a question, he doesn't want to answer it. He just refuses, and they move on to the next question. You know, no silly, you know, nonsense going on the way there used to be on, you know, when Pedro's here and even under Murty as well. He's a different kettle of fish completely today, two men. For me, just absolutely brilliant in his pressers. But not just him, I have to say Connor Goldson as well. You know, the boys come on the day what they have to do, answer the questions they have to answer. It's a couple of times now in recent weeks we saw Connor Goldson at the presser, you know, and he's Connor Goldson's the same, you know. He's handled the journalists up here fantastically well, in my opinion. Long may it continue. If they keep winning, there's no much the press can say to them up here. It's as simple as that. If they keep performing the way they're performing, Ox, you know. It's like you often say to us, you know, if you keep winning, Big Alan Ock kept pointing out, you keep winning games, there's not much they can say to you.
Bridgman.
I just don't know. I agree with everything everybody's said up to now. I just don't know if the press actually do respect him, or are they just wary of him? Or maybe a bit of both. I don't think the man's got the respect that he has down in England, for instance. I don't think they understand him, and that's my honest opinion. They may be coming round to getting an understanding of what he's about. But I think what appears to happen to me anyway, listening to these people, is their dislike of Rangers it's just there. And it's in their voice, it's in their face. This guy is just so polished. They can't dent his armour at all. They can't get into him. They can't say nothing too bad about him because he's not said anything to them. He's just telling them things. He's just telling things as if he's talking to you and I, if you follow what I mean. There's no wee snippets for this or not snippets for that, nothing. He's giving them nothing. He's telling them, they ask him a question, he answers the question, finished. And that's fabulous. I just don't think they respect him at all.
Yeah, they both come across very well, Oxford.
Oh, lost the big man.
Well, I'm back again. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. No, I was saying, yeah, but last season or the last few seasons, we've had people who have, you know, done interviews and they've represented the club pretty well. They've came across well, but walking the walk and talking the talk, it's the two different things. And I think what we have now, we have a manager who is walking the walk, and we have players who are walking the walk. Like Goldson's been a revelation for us at centre back, and you can hear the confidence coming out of him when he's talking about any player he's been asked about, like say McGregor, Tavernier. He's speaking very highly of them and how they're performing. And I think we just have a belief on our side that we haven't had in a long time. As for Steven Gerrard, he is just a class act. He's been doing media stuff from he was a young child. Obviously, at Liverpool coming through as a young fella, captaining the team. And he's always come across well when you've heard him in interviews, etc. But he's actually now putting everything he's learned through the years, mate, and he's using that for his experiences as a manager. And so far, so good, mate. Everything's going well for us.
He's a polished individual. And Connor Goldston, it has looked as if he's been really on the part. But great words about James Tavernier, one of Travel Rug's favourites. Rudy?
Tav's certainly upped his game, hasn't he? I've been really impressed with Tav. I wasn't sure, I have to be honest about it, when Steven Gerrard, gave Tav the captain's armband for the season, I was I'm a wee bit disappointed with that, because I thought maybe Steven Gerrard would bring in somebody, for instance, Connor Goldson, and he'd be made captain, he'd want his own captain. But he's obviously looked at Tav's pre-seasons and stuff like that, and he's thought to himself, this guy could do a job for me on and off the park. He's been here since last year. He's a good guy to have round about the dressing room. Plays well, and he has played well. So, Tav for me, captain. The whole team for me just now hasn't put a foot wrong, and we can't really criticise them up to now, which is hugely different from last season, So long may it continue. If Tav keeps putting the performances in, there's absolutely no reason why he can't remain the Rangers captain for this season. Certainly going forward as well, if he's still here next season,
I like Goldson's answer when he says, "I'm not a captain, but to all intents and purposes, I'm mouthy. I speak out, and people know I'm there, and I know what I'm saying, and so do they." Basically,
but I think, Bridge, we've got players all over the park like that now, though.
Yeah.
It's something we never had last season,
Yeah, but you've got wee midfield people say a lot, and they just jabber away, don't they? Just nippy.
If you watch Scotty Arfield when he's playing, he's constantly talking to people. He's
absolutely.
Saying what.
Are there words of wisdom like a good centre back like Goldson's doing?
Arfield will be educating the players from about him, mate.
Yeah, definitely. So that's something we never had last season. So it's a big improvement to have players like that in the team this season. I'm quite happy with it. I think we've got leaders out of the park at the moment, and that's fine with me.
We need them as well, Rudy. Truth be told, you need them because sometimes you're not in unison in every part of the pitch. If you're breaking. And maybe 4 players away, gone, and they're the ones that are breaking on the break, and they need to tell each other how to do it, what to do, and so on and so forth. So they might be a distance away from the captain at that time, So you need to be able to talk to each other.
I mean, even if you look at, I actually was a wee bit disappointed to hear that Koulibaly's not back yet. I've been hugely impressed with Koulibaly. I don't know how he gets on with the lingo in the midfield, with Ryan Jack, and Scotty Arfield, but I'm sure they managed to communicate because the three of them are great together. So if you look at the three just in the middle of the park, get Scotty Arfield, Koulibaly and Ryan Jack, we didn't have anything like that last season, and it's been a massive turnaround for me, just in attitude, leaders on the park, physicality, the whole works. Everything for me seems to be just going in the right direction for me,
What surprised me, Cushy, is how quickly Steven Gerrard seems to have instilled the missing team spirit, which we'd lost in the last, I'll say, year.
It's something that he harped on about almost from the day he stepped in, is getting the team, getting the squad, getting the backroom staff, getting the people that make the tea, all going in the same direction, and we're getting criticised not too long ago actually in the press for having a bunker mentality. I was delighted to hear that. There was nothing that would would make me happier than people saying that Rangers have got a bunker mentality, because I think a bunker mentality brings you together, and makes you think that everybody's against you, and makes you fight for every single thing that you want to get. So if he's taking forward team mentality and other people see it as a bunker mentality, then so much the better. I think that's absolutely fantastic. And if we can, the short period of time that he's done this entire transformation, I think has been overlooked by elements of the press in Scotland. I think it was any other team, they'd be shouting it from the rooftops. Because it's us. Because it's us, it tends to be downplayed. And we've got, as I say, a kind of critical bunker mentality has been mooted in the press. If that's what they want to say, fantastic. I take that as a team spirit.
Why do you think they would say a bunker mentality? Why do you think they would say that and even mention it? I don't understand why they even want to say that.
It was something that was floated in the press after the Aberdeen game. That's when I first noticed it. When Steven Gerrard came out and made his comments in the post-match interview, about referees and stuff like that, and I heard one or two sort of radio presenters, banging on about this. He's trying to create a them and us thing.
Siege mentality. Yeah.
Mentality, siege mentality bridge, and that was when I first noticed it. But like Cushy, so what if he is creating a siege mentality? Far be it for me to tell Steven Gerrard how to run a football. And if that's if he sees fit to create that mentality because he thinks that's the way forward and that will bring us success, then we have power at his elbow, in my opinion. Sorry, I just wanted, if you're talking about Steven Gerrard getting, credit for what he's done, like Cushy was talking about there, it didn't take them long to start salivating over Steve Clarke last year when he came into Kelly, did it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But you look at the job Steven Gerrard's done since he came in, on the 1st of June. You look at the job, he's only been there since the 1st of June. And look at the difference already in such a few short weeks. And, and if they're not willing to give him any credit, then you know why he's not getting any credit. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And look at the transformation in the squad. Are you back with us, Fox? The turnover, the people that's left. We've got good pros out with injuries now. Unfortunately, Jamie Murphy, Graham Dorrans, and Jordan Rossiter. They're out with, I would say, long-term injuries. They're not going to be fit in the next couple of weeks, but it looks like things. And he's turned the whole thing round.
Well, he's created a family inside Ibrox. I don't know if anybody's watched the Man City documentary with Pep Guardiola and how you get all your players on the one way of thinking, the one way you obey the manager totally, etc. It was a brilliant documentary, and they had the same problem like Jamie Murphy's. They said the boy Mendy got injured very early in the season, and it showed you bits about how the players kept in contact with the boy. And I hope our players do the same. Make him feel welcome when he's going through the slog of recovering. And that helps the team spirit as well. David Gerrard, for me, Ox, I think he's got all the right vital statistics to be a manager. He knows how to treat players well. He knows how to talk to them. He knows how to handle the press. All we're waiting on now is a bit of success for him, mate.
Yeah, that's the next catalyst. Do you think if we get through this tie, Bridgman, he will start getting credit for the job he's done so quickly?
I think he should get credit now because he's taken a Rangers team as far as any Rangers team has in the last 8 years anyway. So I think when you look back to the poor teams or the poor performing teams that we had in the last 2 or 3 years, some of them were quite good teams, in fact, with some good players in there, but they just never performed. I dare say those players would have played better with this manager. But this manager's done something. He's instilled confidence into the team. He's allowed them to play the way, providing they're within his plan area. They're playing, they've got that freedom and confidence to go out and play. And I think it's wonderful to watch. As a Rangers fan, long-term Rangers fan, it's a long time to have seen players being able to play for Rangers the way they're playing and the openness, and I just love it. It's just great to watch. I'm buzzing for tomorrow night, guys. Buzzing. I'm under no illusions. Whatsoever. Tomorrow night, biggest game for a long time because of the European aspect. I feel like we can get into this group stages of the Europa League. My God, that's a miracle in its own right.
If you look back to where we were, Ox, just 12 months ago, or just over 12 months ago,
12 weeks ago.
Well, 12 weeks ago, but for Luxembourg last season, we're now 180 minutes away from qualifying for a European competition for the group stages. That in itself, to me, is a huge step forward. Absolutely huge step forward for a club of our size. We should be competing in European competitions, And if Steven Gerrard can just get us there, and the players, they can just get us there get us there into that group section. I can't look. How can they fail to give the guy praise? You know what I mean? They've got to, at least acknowledge that fact. The difference.
I just like to say, I think in Scotland the praise will be very grudging. Gerrard's profile is so high across the world that he will be getting praise out with Scotland. So it won't just be consigned to the BBC or the Daily Record or whoever it is. It'll be out with that. It'll be a UK wide praise that people will start to sit up and take notice of what he's actually doing. The downside of that is obviously is that if we do get success this year, and I 100% think we will get some success this year, whether it's winning a cup or winning the league or whatever. I absolutely believe we will get some success this year. But the downside of that will be trying to hold on to someone who has effectively turned round the football operation of the club within 6, 8, 12 weeks. So that it's a good problem to have. But that's where we may be in 10 months from now. I hope we're in that position, because it means we've won stuff. But and I've no doubt that we're actually going to win something this year. But that's the kind of scenarios we need to start looking at down the line. But as I say, it's a good position to be in. But we're not going to get praise from Scotland. It's going to come out with Scotland. It's going to come from UK wide or foreign, and these people are going to sit up and take notice of what Gerrard's done. And with that comes the possibility that people are going to start tapping him up.
It's a good point.
One at a time. Big Al's not spoke for a while.
Yeah, no, I agree with Cushy there. We're getting caught up too much in the Scottish press. I couldn't care what the Scottish press say about us, because let's face it, they want us to fail. They want Rangers to fail. They want Gerrard to fail, because in Scotland, the fact is Rangers failing is bigger news and shows more interest in a successful Rangers team. And as Cushy says himself, Gerrard's a worldwide brand, as is Rangers, and we'll get our praise from outside of Scotland. The support are backing him, the support are loving it. Anyone who comes on here is loving it, and that's the praise that he needs, and that's all the praise he'll ever need, because we know in Scotland what we're going to get. So I would just bypass them. They're not going to give us any credit. It's not going to happen. They don't want us to succeed, but we're going to succeed anyway. So I just say, don't buy their papers. Don't listen to their stations, because that's all they'll do. They'll talk about bile against our club constantly, because that's where the news comes from, because them lot across the city feed into these things and want to talk about us. But once the Rangers are succeeding, it's not good for the press, because people aren't interested in that.
If you look at the second leg against Maribor, for instance, I mean, that for me was just an absolute joke, the way the press in this country reacted. You have a fantastic night at Ibrox. The place is absolutely jumping. Rangers get a great 3-1 result against a Champions League side. And the best that an idiot that works for the national broadcaster, BBC Radio Scotland, can come out with is the first goal was offside, the second goal was never a penalty, and the third goal was a handball. Rangers were lucky. That's the best that they could come out with on a fantastic European night at Ibrox. That just tells you everything you need to know about these half-wits.
I was going to say that obviously I'm hoping it's all going to happen and we get through to the group stages. It's like a fairy tale. you know, from an outside looking in, some of the press people looking at people that know Gerrard, they'll start making the comment, and the comment's going to be, look at the job Gerrard's doing up there. My God, that's fantastic. He's took them to the group stages of the Europa League. That's a team that they couldn't kick their own behind last season type of thing, you know. Ended up third in the league and so on and so forth. All the tales of woe. And here this guy's come in a few months, he's transformed them to and done such and such, and now they're in the group stages of the Europa League. That's not to say they're going to think he's going to win, but they will start to follow. They will start to follow and show huge interest in how our progress is. And if he wins a couple of games in the Europa League group stages, oh my God, watch out.
Anyway, just going away for the press conference, obviously. We know that Jamie Murphy. What do you think the team will be tomorrow night, Cushy?
I think it'll be much the same as Kilmarnock. I think Halliday will probably come back out for Jack if he's fit, and I think we'll see Candace on the right and Kent on the left, with Barisic coming in at left back. I don't think there'll be much changes. I don't think they'll do anything untoward. I think he'll keep with the system.
Barisic is cup-tied, pal.
Cup-tied.
Sorry, apologise. So I think probably we'll pop Halliday back into left back then.
Do you not think it'll be Flanagan?
Flanagan will go in there, pal, right?
You know.
Oh, of course, right, okay. Of course he's back as well.
Well,
so
you calling yourself a fan, Cushy?
Well, I know.
Right, that's your team.
It's getting late. It's getting late. Like, the brain's starting to wind down. You know, it's been a long day.
You've been working hard all day. Bridget's been doing Sudokus.
I need to maybe start taking that up then. I don't think it'll change much.
Bridge?
I think this is going to be the same as the last game we played against Maribor. They'll be far off that. And Murphy will be replaced by Kent solidly, because there's one of them, I think it was Kent, he came on in the second half. So I think Kent will take a first team place. So the defence will be similar, with the exception of what's his name, Flanagan. We're playing at left back, and your midfield. Well, Ryan Jack will be back. Well, hopefully, of course. So you're Ryan Jack, Arfield, and Ejera. I can't remember that boy's name for Ejera. And then you're going to have Candias out on the right, and Morelos, and then Kent on the right and the left. That's where I see it.
Rudy Bear, then Ulster.
Aye, but it's probably the strongest team, you know, with the injuries that we've got just now. Unfortunately, Jamie Murphy, you know, so I'd see Kent playing on the left. You never know, maybe Middleton will get a wee shout on the left, but I would doubt it. I think he'll go with Kent. He seems to favour Kent at the moment over Middleton. So I would say Kent on the left, Candace on the right, and Alfie up front, you know. Ajaria, Jack. Yeah, Ajaria, Jack, and Scotty Arfield, midfield, and the usual back four, with Flanagan at left back, obviously. Then Griggsay in goals.
Ulster?
Yeah, I've nothing to add on that. That's the exact same team as I would be going for.
What's your name? Wheels?
On Meals on Wings.
Fox?
Same as everybody else. I think that's the team that most people have picked is the team that I would expect. Maybe get a surprise with Middleton, maybe swap him with Kent for a game to give that boy a bit of rest. He's had a wee bit of a run in the side. Games are coming quick and furious. And I think this team's no as high a calibre as we've played in the previous two rounds. Touch wood, Todd won't. But,
I was going to say that, Fox. Yeah, I don't want to say that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't want to develop too much, you know, confidence. I don't want to say that. You know,
I honestly think we'll be too strong for them, and we'll win by a couple of cleared goals.
I'm disappointed to hear Kofi Olabali is still out. I really like him as a player, and it'd be nice to see him back, you know. But And Steven Gerrard did not get into it at all in his interview. So I'm kind of wondering a little bit concerned about what's happening there. Hoping it's just taking him a little bit of time to get over his injury. But I was disappointed not to hear him back, because I think he's a really, really fantastic player for these type of things.
Yeah. I noticed that then he said laugh at the end of starting 11, so nobody thinks there's any chance that he could come in to surprise the Russians.
I don't think so. I mean, he'll be on the bench, I would imagine. You can use him as a wild card, so he's a good player to bring off the bench. But I think the way Alfredo's playing just now, you've got to go with him every single time for me. Then, if his form dips, you could possibly think about doing something a wee bit different. But at the moment, see when a striker's on form like that and they're scoring goals for fun, and they're putting in a shift the way Alfredo is, you've got to keep playing him, in my opinion, Ox.
No, I thought you maybe play him on the left-hand side, the three.
Oh, right, aye. No, I'd still go with Kent. I like his directness and his pace, Kent, some people think he's not exactly hit the ground running yet, Kent. I think there's a bit more to come for the boy.
I'm one of them.
I heard you say that the other night, Ox, aye. Yeah.
I think he works hard, the boy, and he's a real team player, but he's still there's a kind of final ball that is a little bit lacking, so that's my only worry about Kent. But if he really does put in a shift, but I'd like to see an end product from him that hasn't really been there so far.
That's a good point, Cushy, but also I think you've got to look at his defensive properties as well. He doesn't mind getting back to help the fullback out. He puts a real shift in, as you say. I suppose his final ball could improve, and maybe that'll come, as time goes on, he'll get better at that. Aye, that's a good point.
I think tomorrow night, it's for me, I get disappointed because tomorrow night's an ideal night, a full house of all Bears. If we had managed to get that extra centre half, you could have went for 3-5-2 tomorrow night and put Lafferty and Morelos up front on their own. That would have been some forward line, really. You don't have the players. Don't have the players at the back.
Do you think we'll really have to manage our squad there these next 4 games?
I think so. I think so.
Big time.
Well, hopefully, if we can get a real decent result tomorrow night, means that we can maybe play a lot of our bench in the return game there before the Tims game, mate, and give a few of the people like Morelos and others a wee bit of rest time. If we can get a good result.
What would make that for you? 3-0 or something like that? Is that what you're saying?
I think not so much the score, mate. 2-0 might do it if they don't look. Depends how they look as a side. I think you would know when after tomorrow night how good or bad this side are. And if it looks as though we can comfortably hold them, I would rest key players, especially Morelos.
I wouldn't see us doing that if it was only 2-0, Fox. I really don't. No, because if they were to score 1 in the first 10 minutes, and I think you would. I think if you go to 3 or 4-0 or something like that, which I don't know if we will, but
that'd be 2-0, and then you're talking about maybe resting 4 players, maybe something like that. The games are coming fast and furious just now. But I think if you're talking about going out there, say a 2-0 lead, and you're going to rest 3 or 4 players, you're chucking the cards up in the air for me.
You're not going to do that, Rudy. You're not going to do that. Not 2-0. You wouldn't do that.
Too much of a chance for me, taking too much of a chance.
For what I've read of that faith. Oh, sorry, on you go, Kishy.
For what I've read of that team, they're a very defensive-minded team, so they don't let a lot of goals in, but by the same token, they don't score a lot either. So I think if we can take 2-0 over there, I'm not sure I'd rest an awful lot of our players, but I would be confident that we're going to get into the group stages at 2-0. So I would certainly take 2-0 at this stage. But looking at resting players, it's got to be a bit of a hammering at Ibrox, I think, tomorrow night. So if I'm looking to rest MD, I wouldn't rest MD unless it was about 4-0 or something like that.
Aye, yeah.
Aye, Ulster.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. But if we could get a really commanding lead tomorrow night, I think it would help us go into the second leg, because the last thing we want is a big heavy slog out in Russia, trying to get ourselves through, and everybody having to to put, busting themselves for this, and then you've got the big game obviously on Sunday away from home. So, but yeah, if we can put in a good performance, get 2, 3, or 4, I'll be delighted. I don't know how good this team is. To be honest, I don't know much about them. But if we could put in a real good performance and get the goals notched up, I think that would help us going into the away game. And then if you can rest a few players, if that's said, like putting a Lafferty up front and resting Morelos and keeping him fresh for the Sunday game, that'd be the perfect scenario. And just quickly as well, I think we could, touch wood is a bit like Foxy, but if we do go through to the groups, I think it'll be another record breaker, because I don't think any other club going in so early in the FA Cup has ever made the group stages, so we could be making history again.
It's no like us, is it? No like us. But right, just quickly, I mean, some of you boys are going to be at the game tomorrow night, so Bridgeman, how do you see it going?
I'm going for a 2-0 for Rangers tomorrow night. Obviously, I want more. I really do want more, but I'm going for a 2-0.
Cushy?
I don't think this mob are any great shakes, and I think 3-0.
Fox?
2-0, I think I'd be happy with, but I've got a feeling it'll be slightly more than that.
All right, I hope you're all right, don't we, Rudy? Ulster. Are you gone, Rudy?
No, I'm working right up until about, I don't know, 7 or something. Half 7, I don't know. Until about half 7.
Obviously, you'll be on here maybe.
Aye, possibly.
Aye. Well, hopefully the boys are right. Over to Bridgeman.
What can I say? A marvellous night tonight. Great discussions and great interviews with our manager and players. Just loved every bit of it. Welcome. Big welcome. Kyle Lafferty, welcome back to Rangers, the famous. To all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans in here and Rangers Radio. Massive game tomorrow, so every single one of us keep everything going for the Rangers, because the Rangers need us. Keep it going, please.
Can I thank Briggs, Cushy, the Fox, Rudy Bear, Big Ulster, and of course George Logan. But I'll also give once more a shout out to Jamie Murphy. Get well soon, mate, and it'll be good to see you back in the Rangers jersey. Take it away, Fox.